Well, amazingly, I got invited to contribute a guest entry to the Fashion Works blog. Yeah, me, write about fashion. That's going to go down well. I mean, I'm the guy who doesn't wear shoes and lives my life in jeans and t-shirt and would encourage everybody to do the same. So I can't see too many people agreeing with me, but they suggested that I write about the new season's football shirts, what I liked and didn't like about them, and on that I certainly do have an opinion. I know what I like, and I'm perfectly willing to share that with you. So after writing the blog, I thought, well, why not do a video version? So here it is. I had a quick skim through the kits of the 92 clubs. Most of them were fine, practical and unremarkable. But then you get a few that jump out as daring to be different, resulting in either a pleasant surprise or the quickest diversion of the eye since Raiders of the Lost Ark. So here are my picks for best and worst 3 shirts from each of the 4 professional tiers in England. The best of League 2. Oxford United's away shirt. It's very difficult to get purple wrong, especially in a football kit, as you don't see it very often. The white vertical strip and band on the sleeve work for me, and the sponsor logo sits nicely in between. Bristol Rovers home shirt. The blue and white quarters of the Pirates. It's always had its charm, and it's been pulled off again rather snazzily. The vertical asymmetry is a lot easier on the eye than one might expect, and is a good way to accommodate what would otherwise be a garishly big and red sponsor logo. The pinstripe collar and cuffs give it a pleasing edge. Honourable mention to Rovers away kit this year, also making good use of purple, but alas it commits the cardinal sin of failing to continue the shirt pattern on the back, with a solid colour panel blocking out what could be a great design. Fleetwood Town home. The asymmetrical shoulder sleeve pattern is always a risk, but I think they've pulled it off nicely here. The sponsor logo with the flames stands out enough to please the eponymous financial backers, while the orange of the letters blends in gently enough with the shirt so as not to stand out hideously. The funked up Polish flag look gets a thumbs up from me. The worst of League 2. Torquay United home. Oh dear. Yellow and white stripes. There's been a precedent, and we know that the Solero football kits just don't work. The dark blue patterns and sponsor logo just make this kit far too noisy, while the yellow and white stripes are just weak. Rochdale home. Oh dear, oh dear. Another stripe failure here. The stripes are far too thin for a start, and as they fail to continue to the sleeves, it makes the shirt look more like a basketball vest. Blue and black with white shorts is a criminal mismatch, and the shade of blue is too light and feeble. Scunthorpe away. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. This looks unfinished as of yet, and I haven't been able to double source it, or find anything to contradict it so far. So this may not be what Scunthorpe United actually end up wearing, but if, as I fear, it's just a question of adding the club crest and stamping on the words Raynham Steel in block caps on the front, and this shirt is simply not salvageable. Terrible colour, lazy wing pattern whose asymmetry really fails as spectacularly as the shirt is trying to improve. The biggest surprise is that Nike chose to make it so obvious that they designed for this atrocity. The best of League 1. Peterborough United home. Posh have produced some very poor kits in recent years. They're often the chief purveyors of wishy-washy, weak blue shades that sell themselves short of the image they want as an ambitious family football club. Not this time though. Everything I liked about the similar-looking purple Oxford shirt applies here, of course, and with the right shade of blue and a sponsor logo that fits very nicely into this design, Peterborough are onto a winner. Stevenage Borough away. They've kept it simple. An interesting light blue stripe pattern on a black background that tempers the otherwise intense club crest and feeler, or is it feast, I can never tell, logo. Less is clearly more here, and it even manages to accommodate a very large sponsor logo fairly comfortably. Port Vale home. It's nigh on impossible to either achieve or fail in any way notably with a plain white shirt, and indeed the Port Vale home shirt is a perfectly decent, nothing special, white football shirt from the front, but look at it from the back. A wonderfully classy image of the local area, Maybe there's a reason not to like it on a football shirt, but if there is, I can't see it and almost certainly won't agree. This is pure artistry, the exact opposite to what Stoke City are. The worst of League One. Walsall, third kit. Oh dear. Strawberries and cream? Is there some tenuous link between Walsall and Andy Murray that has somehow escaped all of our attention? Is the cream just for the rather sinister looking cap that's taking up even more space than the already unusually large Walsall crest? I suppose it has one redeeming feature in that when it comes out not quite white after too many careless wash cycles, it won't look any worse. Notts County, home. Oh dear, oh dear. Notts County, along with Newcastle United, Grimsby, Juventus, and very lazily I realise West Bromwich Albion, often get referred to as barcodes. Why County took this as a compliment and decided to take it a step further with the stripes of varying width, I do not know. The numerical sponsor logo, I'm not sure if it's a good or bad thing that they didn't make their shirt have the actual bars that correspond to those numbers. The barcode image has gone too far, then a bit further, and then somewhere over the ring. Leyton Orient, away. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, doesn't even begin to cover this. When Orient run out onto the pitch in this, it'll look like a game of shirts and skins. Only worse, tattooed skins advertising FIFA 14. The best of the Championship. Watford, away. Burgundy's a great colour for a football shirt. You don't see it often enough, far superior to claret. The yellow works really well with it too for me. Not a great sponsor logo, but the shirt is able to speak over the noise it generates. Barnsley, away. Once again, this Nike design with the solitary white vertical stripe and opposing armband gets my attention. But what I particularly like here is the vertical sponsor logo. Very sensibly rotated so as not to break up the pattern, as a great alternative to being squeezed into the width of the blue patch, as was the case for Oxford's and Peterborough's versions of this design. QPR, away. The classic Dennis the Menace red and black hoops are back. It should be the obvious choice as the inverse colours of the blue and white home kit, but due to marketing pressures doesn't get to make a return every year. And QPR have been lumbered with some very poor second and third shirt designs in recent years. Also, the hoops are back to an appropriate thickness. Perhaps they could have been slightly thinner, but this will do after the previous 2 seasons' offerings. The white AirAsia logo, despite its size, manages to keep the right side of being obtrusive. Be warned though, this is a Lotto shirt, so buy at least one size larger than you normally would, as they're just incapable of calibrating their size scales in line with everyone else's. That said, I'm really looking forward to getting mine. The worst of the Championship. Leeds, away. Oh dear, Leeds have produced a pretty decent home kit this year, not top 3 material, but decent nonetheless. This, however, entirely undoes that. The cream gold sick colour is not in any way redeemed by the navy, and the trapezium shape on the front is just too clumsy. Millwall, home. Oh dear, pinstripes always look weak on a football shirt, especially vertical ones. Double pinstripes, if anything, are worse. The blue is too dark to have any character, and not black enough to have any weight. The choice of sponsor is clearly a noble one, but prostate cancer is not a very nice thing to be reminded of every time you look at the shirt. Then again, it may be effectively off-putting for Millwall's opposition, while at the same time equally effective in undermining the frighteningly hard image carried by Millwall's firm as they attempt to intimidate, or worse, opposing fans. Birmingham City, home. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Birmingham have often gone for this incomplete design that falls between so many stalls it's amazing it didn't catch one by accident. It's not a blue shirt, it's not a white shirt, it's not a blue and white striped shirt, it's not a white shirt with blue sleeves. It just looks half-hearted and unfinished. It's made worse by the white shorts, which together with the white on the main body of the shirt completely overpower the blue, and the blue socks fall a long way short of redressing that balance. Birmingham City are supposed to be the Blues. They just aren't when they wear this, at least from the front. But the aforementioned cardinal sin of failing to complete the pattern on the back, in this case it's all blue on the back, doesn't save the shirt from being too white, it just enhances the errors and inconsistency. The best of the Premier League. Liverpool, third kit. Liverpool fans should take delight that they've already got a victory here. It should be of no disappointment to them whatsoever that my personal subjective opinion that their third kit is among the best on display in this season's Premier League may be the only thing they win of any real value this season. With a tastefully moderate use of purple on black, juxtaposed with a symmetrical silver and white pattern, this very brave attempt at doing something different works for me. Aston Villa away. While it spectacularly fails in its primary purpose as an alternative option to avoid colour clashes with their home shirt, Villa have definitely made a good move with the claret and white quarters. I like this almost as much as the Bristol Rovers shirt, and it's a colour pairing that we haven't seen before in this design that fits together well. You'll be pleased to hear that the pattern does indeed continue on the back. This shirt would not have made the list otherwise. Even the sponsor logo looks good. West Ham, home. West Ham have often failed to bring class to their classic claret and blue kit in recent years, but this season's offering has to be the best I've seen in quite a while. Very smart looking stripes on the shoulders and a sponsor logo that almost blends in completely. Here it's being modelled by diminutive charity fundraising superstar John Joe Horriman. You'll be hearing much more about him from me later in the season as he continues his annual fundraising events for the Bobby Moore Fund for Cancer Research. The worst of the Premier League. Swansea City away. Oh dear. Well, you may have seen this coming, but I didn't. A purple failure. The purple's not really present enough to give the shirt character, and the yellow sawtooth pattern across the shoulders just looks plain hideous. The sponsor logo does nothing to improve it either. Sunderland away. Oh dear, oh dear. It was Einstein who defined insanity as repeatedly doing the same thing and expecting different results. No football team has ever looked good dressed as lollipop men, so why did Sunderland expect things to be any different for them? It might just about pass as a goalkeeper shirt, but on 10 outfield players, it's just plain wrong. Chelsea, home. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Saving the worst for last here. It's just hideous. A weak blue that can't stand up to the contrast of the white piping, which just makes it look weaker still. A hint at some texture with the vertical stripe shading just makes it even more feeble. No imagination, no presence, and no interest in bringing in different colours to give strength from diversity. That reminds me of someone. But anyway, worst of all is that odious badge.
Well done for making it to the end. Phew, at last I can stop trying to be serious about fashion. Yeah, I was really trying. Okay, well, before I go, I just want to draw your attention to what I've written down below. Very good friend of mine is doing some awesome gaming videos, and I've started joining in some of them. So, yeah, see for yourself. And with the new season nearly upon us, my next football video is going to be up very, very soon. Cheers.